Well, thank you very much. As you've already given them my name, I won't need to do that again, but I would like to say, as well as being one of the vice presidents for Europe, I'm also the guy that responded to your online applications. And as I wrote back to each of you, I couldn't help but wonder at the wonderful, colourful, descriptive, poetic names, not to mention their length. Yeah? And I just tried to imagine what each person that I was writing back to looked like. Now, of course, the warriors turned out to be far more beautiful and handsome than I had ever anticipated. But for the rest of you, I now have no illusions. And so on to Europe, South and Central, the best region of Europe, of course. And from Ireland to the west and the Ural Mountains of Russia in the east, the whole of Europe has a population of about 733 million in 45 countries. AMCF, in its beneficence, has allocated 2 vice presidents to this area, the smallest continent with the largest population and the greatest number of countries. South and Central takes in the old democracies, and it's now mixed with the ex-Warsaw Pact countries, benefiting very much economically from association with the European Union. I took over from Mark Fillingham, Major Mark Fillingham, in March 2008, and so I am now in my 7th year as a VP. And although I intend to remain very much engaged on the European scene, I will be stepping down as a VP early next year when my 7 years are complete. Another significant change in Europe took place when Rainer Torun passed the leadership of the MMI Europe team to Grozdan Stoevski from Bulgaria, and Grozdan's energy, language skills, familiarity with Eastern Europe has opened up many new opportunities, and the team for Europe has now become even more robust and talented than it was before. So that's a brief introduction for you. Oh, you've seen that. Good. Well, we were asked to give you some milestones in our 10 minutes. As we make our way along the Lord's highway, we pass milestones. They're direction and distance markers which indicate both where we've come from, where we are, and where we're going to. And the first milestone we see has 10 similar ones behind it. That's... back. Start again. Okay. You see Lübecker, 11th year. Well, there are 10 milestones behind that because that's how long it's been going. It happens in West Germany, and we gather together folk from usually about 20, 25 European nations every year, and this is for leaders and key supporters. Our second milestone marks the formation of 3 new military Christian fellowships: Switzerland, Italy, and Croatia. Such fellowships do not form spontaneously, but they come as a result of inputs from several sources. For Switzerland, it's a joining of the police fellowship with us, and we're very pleased to have so many police people with us over our time together. For Italy, the foundations were laid by the European Navy Christian Link-Up and built upon, and now they have a fully flourishing national military Christian fellowship. And then for Croatia, work with AMCF, MSO, and MMI have presented possibilities to the Croatians for faith in the military, and it has resulted in our newest MCF in Europe. And is Drazan around? Where's Drazan? Can you stand up? Up you get. So Drazen is the leader of the newest MCF in Europe. In fact, you might be overtaken now by Belarus, but I'm sure Torbjörn will correct me, as he usually does when he gets up here. So on to some opportunities. This is our travel plot over the last 7 years, and each line represents several trips, often to the same place. And opportunities for the region really lie in the continuation of the work already begun and still very much in progress. And you will have seen our president put up how AMCF works, and we work how AMCF works. So there's nothing really new I can tell you, but in summary, we work on going out, and you see on the picture here, visiting MCFs and Christian contacts. It's been a major part of our effort. It's helped by an extremely supportive partnership with MMI, and of course the ease of movement in Europe. Almost a complete common currency, freedom of travel, no borders, no visas, and so work in Europe is straightforward, and we're blessed by that. Secondly, bringing in. The success of our Lübecker weekends has lessons for all of AMCF, and it echoes very much the warrior training that preceded this event. These annual meetings are by invitation, and that's an interesting thing as well. So you target who you want. Then formation of fellowships, continuation of fellowships, and cooperation between fellowships. And I conclude by repeating some of what I said at the Seoul Council in 2009. Europe is now the least religious of all continents. It was the cradle of Christian mission, but its Christian heritage is now on view in wonderful buildings and monuments that people visit more as tourists than they do as worshippers. A revival is needed in the old democracies, and the newfound Christian freedom in the East needs to be treasured and encouraged. The challenges of militant Islam demand that Christians come together on the vast areas of common ground that we share. Christians in the armed forces exercise an enormous influence by their courage and conduct. Our faithful discipleship and loyal service can save nations. And so, in bringing you greetings from the Military Christian Fellowships of Europe, I also have a prayer that the Christian heritage of our ancient continent might be revitalized by the spirit and energy of Africa. Thank you very much.